You wake up in a hospital bed. The surgery failed. You open your eyes. Nothing. Just darkness. Forever. You're 20 years old. You had a full scholarship to Columbia University. You had dreams, plans, a future. And in one moment, it's all gone. The doctor tells you what you can do now? Make screwdrivers, cane chairs, or become a justice of the peace. That's it. That's your life now. Most people would have accepted it. Sandy Greenberg said no. And he turned that darkness into an $80 million empire. This is how a blind man saw what everyone else missed. December 13th, 1940. Sandy Greenberg was born in Buffalo, New York, working-class Jewish family. His father was a tailor who died when Sandy was just 5 years old. His mother remarried. Money was tight. But Sandy was brilliant, top of his class, the kind of student who earned a full scholarship to Columbia University in 1958. At Columbia, he thrived, made lifelong friends, studied hard, had big plans. His roommate was a kid named Art Garfunkel. Yes, that Art Garfunkel, who would later become half of Simon and Garfunkel. They were just two college kids figuring out life together. Sandy was headed for law school, maybe business, maybe academia. The world was open. He had perfect vision, perfect grades, a perfect future. And then, junior year, everything changed. 1961, Sandy started having eye problems. Seemed minor at first. Doctors diagnosed it as conjunctivitis, pink eye, nothing serious. Except it wasn't conjunctivitis. It was glaucoma. Misdiagnosed. By the time they caught it, the damage was severe. They rushed him into surgery in Detroit, tried to save his vision. The surgery failed. Sandy woke up in a hospital bed, opened his eyes, saw nothing. The doctor confirmed what Sandy already knew. He was blind, permanently. He went from 20/20 vision to zero vision in a matter of weeks. 20 years old, full scholarship, bright future. Gone. Just like that. He went home to Buffalo, lay on the floor of his room, listened to music, fell into depression. His dreams felt impossible now. How do you finish Columbia, blind? How do you go to law school? How do you build a career? A social worker came to talk to him about his options. She was trying to be helpful. She told him what blind people could do for work. You can make screwdrivers. You can cane chairs. Or you can become a justice of the peace. That's it. That's your life now. Most people would have accepted it. Sandy Greenberg said no. And he turned that darkness into an $80 million empire. This is how a blind man saw what everyone else missed. Art Garfunkel showed up in Buffalo, knocked on Sandy's door, told him, "You're coming back to Columbia." Sandy resisted. How could he study blind? How could he navigate campus? How could he compete with sighted students? Art didn't argue. He just said, "I'll help you." They went back to Columbia together. Art became Sandy's reader. He'd read textbooks aloud for hours. They'd study side by side. Art would guide Sandy across campus, through buildings to classes. But Art did something else, something more important. He taught Sandy independence. One day, Art convinced Sandy to ride the New York City subway alone. Sandy was terrified. No cane, no guide dog, just him, blind, navigating one of the most chaotic transit systems in the world. He agreed, got on the train, counted stops, listened to announcements, felt his way through stations, made it to his destination, felt like he'd climbed Everest. What Sandy didn't know, Art had followed him the entire time, stayed a few steps behind, watching, ready to help if needed, but he never intervened. When Sandy arrived, he revealed himself. Sandy was furious at first. Then he understood. Art had given him the confidence to know he could do it. That moment changed everything. If he could navigate the subway blind, he could do anything. Sandy graduated from Columbia, Phi Beta Kappa, class president, then applied to Harvard for graduate school. Got in, earned his master's, then his PhD, then went to Harvard Law School, then studied at Oxford as a Marshall Scholar. Blind. He did all of this blind. How? He refused to accept limitations. He had people read to him, but recordings were too slow, so he invented something, a speech compression device, technology that could speed up audio playback without distorting the sound. He could listen to lectures and books at double, triple speed, process information faster than sighted students could read. His blindness forced innovation, and that innovation became the seed of his first business. 1966, Sandy founded his first company, Compressed Speech, Inc. The technology he'd invented for himself had commercial potential. Other blind people needed it. Researchers needed it. Anyone who consumed large amounts of audio needed it. He raised capital, built a team, launched the product. It worked. But Sandy wasn't satisfied with one company. He saw a bigger opportunity: information processing. Computers were emerging. Data was exploding. Companies needed systems to manage it. In 1968, Sandy launched an electronic data processing company in Washington, D.C. He raised $2 million, built a business analyzing and processing information for corporations and government. Think about that. A blind man building a company in data processing. People thought it was impossible. How do you read spreadsheets blind? How do you analyze data? How do you lead meetings? Sandy figured it out. He used his compressed speech technology to consume information. He hired great people and trusted them. He memorized more than most sighted people could. His brain became his superpower. The company grew. Sandy became known in Washington business circles, made connections, served as a White House fellow under President Lyndon B. Johnson. Later, President Clinton appointed him to the National Science Board. The kid who was told to cane chairs was now advising presidents. In 1983, he founded another company, TEI Industries. His ventures reached a combined valuation of approximately $80 million. $80 million. Built by a man who couldn't see a single number on a balance sheet because he didn't need to see them. He understood them at a level most sighted executives never reach. But here's what makes Sandy Greenberg different from most successful entrepreneurs. He didn't just build wealth, he built purpose. Going blind wasn't just a challenge he overcame, it became his mission. He decided, if I can succeed despite blindness, I can help end blindness for everyone else. Sandy and his wife Sue established the Sanford and Susan Greenberg Center to End Blindness at Johns Hopkins Wilmer Eye Institute. They created the Greenberg Prize, a $3 million reward for researchers working to cure blindness. Not manage it, not accommodate it, end it forever. His mantra became, end blindness for everyone, forevermore. He wrote a memoir, Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, the title referencing both his experience and his friendship with Art Garfunkel, whose song The Sound of Silence includes that line. The book detailed his journey from despair to purpose, from victim to victor, from darkness to vision, not eyesight, but something bigger, a vision for what humanity could achieve. So what do you learn from Sandy Greenberg's journey from a hospital bed to an $80 million empire? Lesson 1. Limitations are just poorly defined problems. Sandy couldn't read fast enough, so he invented technology to read faster. He couldn't see data, so he built systems to understand it differently. Every limitation is an engineering problem waiting for a solution. Stop accepting constraints. Start solving them. Lesson 2. Your network is your lifeline. Art Garfunkel didn't just help Sandy study, he gave him confidence. Later, mentors like David Rockefeller opened doors. You can't do it alone. Build relationships with people who believe in you more than you believe in yourself. then prove them right. Lesson 3. Disadvantages force innovation. Sandy's blindness made him invent compressed speech technology. That invention became a business. Your biggest weakness might be your biggest competitive advantage if you leverage it correctly. Don't hide your struggles, weaponize them. Lesson 4. Independence is learned, not given. Sandy riding the subway blind was terrifying, but it taught him he could navigate anything. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Do the thing that scares you. That's where capability lives. Lesson 5. Success without purpose is empty. Sandy didn't just get rich. He used his wealth to end blindness for others. He turned personal tragedy into global mission. Build something that matters beyond your bank account.
Legacy beats luxury. Lesson 6. The eye is just an extension of the brain. Sandy's quote, "Vision isn't about eyesight, it's about insight." Most people with perfect vision are blind to opportunity. You don't need eyes to see the future. You need imagination, determination, and the refusal to accept what others say is impossible. Sandy Greenberg is alive today, still working, still fighting to end blindness, still proving that darkness is just the canvas where extraordinary people paint their vision. He went from a hospital bed, hearing he could cane chairs, to building $80 million companies, advising presidents, and funding research that might cure blindness forever. You're not blind. You can see this screen. You have advantages Sandy never had. So what's your excuse? What limitation are you using to explain why you haven't started? Because Sandy Greenberg couldn't see, and he still saw more than most people ever will. The subway is waiting. The darkness is just a test. Your Art Garfunkel is out there. Your compressed speech technology is in your mind. Your $80 million empire is on the other side of the thing you think you can't do. Sandy proved it. A social worker told him to cane chairs. He built companies instead. Start today, with whatever you have, wherever you are, even if you can't see the path, especially if you can't see the path. Because that's when you learn to navigate differently. That's when you build something nobody else could imagine. That's when you turn hello darkness into a vision for life. Subscribe. Comment what limitation you're turning into innovation. Let's end the blindness of impossible.